Brock Purdy wins the Super Bowl and the Niners decide he's the future, they should trade Trey Lance in the offseason and use his and Jimmy Garoppolo's cap savings to build even more around him. I'm actually not opposed to getting as cheap as possible in the quarterback room, and that means not having a backup making $8 million. But the Niners invested too much in Trey Lance to sell low. You could argue they never should have traded up 3 first-round picks for anyone, ever. That's probably a fair thing to say. But they did. They did it. The trade is done. They drafted Trey Lance. I don't think it makes it any better to sell low. I don't. Because even though he's expensive for a backup, if he's Purdy's backup, even though it's all seeming like you messed it up, what if you send him somewhere else to a competent organization that does it right and he becomes the player you thought he'd be? Then it's even worse. Then it's compounded, the issue. So I don't think the Niners can do it. We'll see if they do. See what they get. I don't think you get a first-round pick. I don't think you get a second-round pick. To me, if Bill Walsh were coaching right now, someone like him on another team would be looking at the Niners thinking, I wonder if I can get Trey Lance from them for a second and a fourth. Isn't that what Bill Walsh traded Tampa for Steve Young? Remember, because Tampa had Vinny Testaverde, and they kind of liked Vinny. And Steve didn't have instant success with Tampa, right? So Tampa was like, you know what? We're going with Vinny. Maybe that's would be kind of what it would be like if the Niners just decided to go with Brock because he had a little instant success. It's not all about instant success. Nothing against, I'm not saying Brock's Vinny Testaverde. I'm not saying that. But that's what happened in Tampa, right? They made a bad decision based on, a small sample size of results on a bad team or whatever. Picked the wrong quarterback. Sent Steve Young to the Niners for pennies on the dollar. Steve Young was the top pick. He got the highest free agent contract ever in the USFL. He was a big deal. Went to Tampa. They didn't know what to do with him. Then just cast him off to the Niners so he could become a Hall of Famer. Is that not what happened? So I'm thinking a smart team is looking at the Niners like, oh, man, maybe I could offer a second and a fourth for Lance. I wouldn't do it. I don't want to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that scenario. That was Tampa's legacy before they won the Super Bowl with John Lynch. John Lynch saved their legacy. They would have just been the team that traded Steve Young. Wow, I just went on a long rant right there.